Hello, welcome back to the channel. It's actually been about a year since we've done very much. It's not because we don't want to, it's just a factor of circumstances. Both Swampy and myself have got quite a few different things going on in our lives. If you look at my background, you'll see that it's very, very different to where I was 15 months or so ago. Actually sold the house and moved into rented accommodation for 6 months before leaving the UK, and I am now ensconced in sunny southeastern Europe and having a very different life. Now currently I don't have a garage, currently living in an apartment and working with architects to design and refurbish an old house. When that's done, and it is going to take a little while to get done, when that's done, going to have a really nice garage, proper workshop, much better facilities than I've ever had before. What I'm going to do is ask Swampy to record something and I'm going to stick that in here.
Thank you, Scotty. It's been pretty busy for me too. Lots going on with family, and there's loads of complex stuff going on with my job at the moment. So that's kind of played into things. We had a near miss with a flood in the house and the roof's been leaking, so we've been trying to deal with those as well. Things haven't stopped happening with cars. There's still been stuff going on, but for example the MG had some work done on it, but it's work that Scotty has already recorded on his car. There was no point in recording it again and making a duplicate video of exactly the same sort of work going on. So yeah, at the moment we're hoping during summer that this will change a little bit and then we can get going with some more car work. Been doing lots of bits and pieces. Maybe we can record a bit more going forward, so that should be pretty good. As a roundup, we've been looking at all the various different vehicles. The transit van is currently on my driveway, having loads of work done on it. It's had its solar panel fixed, but it's also got a rather big problem with the chassis, so that needs some welding doing on it. The Hilux has had some new solar panels put on the roof and new Victron solar system added to it. That should help stop it flattening the batteries all the time. Now we're getting expensive to replace with it not being used so much. That needs some welding doing on it as well, so we've got to get on that, and the back window's broken. Christine, which is Scotty's old MG, needs a few bits and pieces doing to it, but generally it's in really good condition. It's been used almost as a daily driver, but that's looking pretty good as well. The VVC MG, that has had a full engine rebuild and a refurb of the subframe. Then it had the front subframe and suspension taken out as well, just to have a look and tidy that up a little bit without doing a complete refurb on it. And the Supra is looking pretty good. That had the dents removed. We fixed some issues with the stereo where some wires had come loose, and we've been doing some work on things like seat belts and various other pieces in the car to try and make it a bit safer. So there's lots to be going on. We hopefully make some car shows this year, get some video of those and try and visit some of those. But yeah, plenty going on, and hopefully we can bring you some more videos soon.
Around about 18 months, 2 years ago, we actually sold the Cayenne, and I took in part exchange, I took an old Mini. Quite a nice little car, but not without its problems. The seller kind of covered up one or two things on it as well, I think. And it does have a few little knocks and dents and whatever, but you know, decent little car anyway. I put together this video sort of chronicling the Mini ownership and the few jobs I did on it. Very, very minor restoration, if you like, just to tart it up. And the idea was that I'd end up with a really nice little car that we could hack around in for a little while until we jumped on the plane and left the UK for a while. And then somebody would get a very nice little car that was really well sorted. Didn't quite work out like that, and best thing to do, show the video, and then you can see what happened. Good afternoon, welcome back to the channel. I want to introduce the new project car. It's a 2002 Mini R50. It's a 3-door Mini 1 hatch, 1.6 litre, which I think puts out around about 105 brake horsepower. I'll double check on that and just confirm it on the screen in the comment below. Quite nice and clean inside. I bought a parcel shelf for it, it didn't come with that, but That was about 25 quid used off of eBay. $73,995 miles. Your guess is as good as mine as to what somebody's done there. Really don't know how they managed to do that, but when it came to me, it had an air freshener stuck over that, and I must admit I didn't notice that when I was checking it out to buy it. That was obviously deliberately covered up by the seller anyway, so you know, such is life. We do have one or two marks on the bodywork. There's a bit of a dent there. I don't think it's showing up on camera, but there's a dent there as well. A couple of little scratches, like that one there, and down there. Oh look, there's another mark there. This one, however, is a little bit more of a problem. This panel's not too expensive. Great. Engine bay's lovely and clean. Not an awful lot of space around it, to be honest, but that's kind of expected given size of the car. It's probably about 6 months since I've done much in the way of work on cars. You might notice different location, and there's a whole long story that I'll talk about another time, but what I'm going to do now is have a look at the front brakes on the Mini. I've got new discs and new pads to fit. These really aren't too bad. There is some life left in them. You can see though, when you compare it against a new one, massive difference. So yeah, definitely well worth changing. It's fair to say this side definitely needed doing. Oh blimey, look at this. Okay, let's try again. Fair to say these ones definitely needed doing. These are really quite low. Right, so I have had one minor little accident, and that's I've knocked this bit of trim off. Turns out, hopefully you'll be able to see that, it's held on with epoxy resin and all the clips. It's actually a few days later, and my next job is to try and fit these. Looking at the replacement part, that will give me a bit of a guide to how to fit this. 2 screws there, 1 screw there, 1 screw in here, looks like there's one there, which will just take a nut from the inside, and then just down on the bottom here where the breakers are just kind of cut this off rather than taking it off and being gentle with it, so I'm just going to have to straighten that out. That looks like it's probably about the only difficult one to get to on the car. There's also this. So that isn't one, and we have a Torx on there. Okay, well that one is unnecessarily tight, and I don't think I've got the tools here to get this out. Very much missing my garage and my tools. Tucked away in storage, I've got everything I need to make an easy job of this, but I haven't got it here, which makes it a real pain. Not quite sure how I'm going to deal with this, going to have to give it a bit of thought. It's actually a few days later. At the weekend, I happened to visit a mechanic friend of mine who had the right tools and got this bolt undone. Earlier this week, I've been up to the storage unit and I've got myself a few more tools, and I am now going to have a go at this one. That was in far tighter than it needs to be for some reason, but whatever, yeah, it's drilled out now. I did bring my tap kit down as well, so if I need to I can tap a new thread, and the one thing I didn't bring down was a new bolt actually, but I must have something lying around that I can use. I'm going to have to take the wheel arch liner off, or at least loosen it enough to be able to pull it down to get to that last one. But it does look like, touch wood, this is the last one. That's one dented wing removed. So you can definitely see on here that when the breakers took this wing off the car, they obviously had the same problem as I did, and they end up either cutting it off, or it looks like they've almost just bent it backwards and forwards until it's snapped off, to be honest. So I've just got to drill this out, straighten this out, and then it should be ready to go back on the car. That really didn't take much. It took about 10 minutes drilling, and I've just flattened it out slightly with the hammer, and that's ready to go on the car now. Okay, as I'd actually managed to drill the entire head off of the bolt, it actually came out incredibly easily. So I'm now ready to put the new wing on. Despite having hundreds and hundreds of nuts and bolts and everything up in storage, here I can't find a single solitary M6 bolt. So next best thing. Can't believe I'm doing this, but needs must. Right, it's a well-known fact that I just made up, that the wheels on the space shuttle were held on with cable ties, so that will do perfectly for now. I've got the old plastic clips out and given it a bit of a clean. I've got this set that consists of 3 of those and 1 of those. Okay, that one goes in there like that. I've done the other 3, and now all I've got to do then is just get this in place, and then that's this piece of trim on. That was awkward. What I should have done earlier was taken the wheel arch liner out completely and done all of this, put all the trim in, done everything up, and then put the wheel arch liner back last, before the wheel. That's one half done, time for a cup of tea, and then I'm going to do the other half. Okay, just going to stop this video here. Second part of this is going to be released next week. Until then, thank you very much for watching. See you then. Cheers. Bye.